the midget that I am. Hello, my baby gorillas! Let me just try and even this up. That's it. Ho 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 ho! Got a big announcement just now. Big announcement. I think that seems still a bit high. We've got the First Minister of Scotland, John Swinney, coming out to make an announcement. He had made an announcement earlier on today, and we have got him out speaking to us live outside the Scottish Parliament. And I would just like to say, again, I'm absolutely over the moon that Mr. Swinney will come out and have a chat with us about his announcement earlier on today, and we'll hopefully get an in-depth understanding of where he was coming from and what his whole raison d'etre was earlier on today, and what his speech actually related to, and what was the context of it all. I think that's something that we have to find out, and maybe who wrote his speech. So, how you doing, John? Get into them. So, who wrote the speech? Who wrote John Swinney's speech? It was absolutely unbelievable, wasn't it? Absolutely incredible. So, I'm just waiting here, and I'm expecting in a couple of minutes to come out of the Parliament and have a chat, and hopefully we'll discuss John Swinney's insight into everything that he was talking about in his speech, which I don't know if you've seen it yet. I would go into Dan Wootton and have a look at what Dan Wootton said about it earlier on, and maybe Mr. Swinney could tell us a wee bit about how that relates to what Sir Keith Darmer said. He was looking so feminine in his fatigues, his military gear. Oh, I'm pure, I'd punch like that. So I can't wait for him to go to war for us. Can't wait to get John Swinney in the front line. Having known guys that were SF, work with them, brilliant guys, that they are having to be put in the front line by this absolute doughball. But anyway, I'm sure there wasn't really, again, as usual, much difference between Baldie John, where's my WhatsApps John, and Baldie John and Keir Starmer. There wasn't much of a change there. Sorry, I apologise. I'm just looking around here. I think there's MSPs getting filmed here before Baldie John came out. So I will just take a couple of minutes, guys. This is just warming up. I don't know who that is. They're so nondescript. You couldn't actually tell who the MPs were, bar a handful of absolutely the worst, biggest doughballs. I think they put the doughballs out to confuse everybody while they actually squirrel away taxpayers' money. Oh. So it's just a couple of minutes. I can see him. I think he's coming now. I think he's coming. So again, we'll have hopefully a great interview. We had a great interview last time with him, and it was fantastic. If you've not seen the last interview with John Swinney, go on the Guerilla TV channel, John Swinney, and you can see it. So there's just people floating about. Right, here he's coming just now. Hold on, just 2 seconds. Wait till I'm a Baldie, he doing? How you doing, Hank? How you doing, buddy? Hello? Hello? Oh, hello? Whoop. Hello. We're in. So, John Swinney here.
Can we get a photo together?
You can get a photo, but don't. Wait, I'm going live. You can get a photo, but take it from the side or the front. I'm live soon. So, here we are, John Swinney here, and we are with the SNP member, John Swinney. So, I want to do an announcement about Nigel Farage and far right.
So, I want to do an announcement about Nigel Farage and far right.
So, quite right. So, Nigel Farage. It's far right. It's far right. Far right. Far right. And we are hoping that he doesn't become too far right. You're missing the point, mate. You're missing the point. You need to watch the channel. If you don't understand it, you need to watch the channel. I'm taking the piss out of John Swinney. That's the point. Thanks, mate. So, we are now talking about the far right. Oh, anus, inbred anus. Inbred anus. Wrote my script. And he talks about the far right this, far right that.
And he talks about the far right this,
Far right that. So, we do understand that women have penises.
So, we do understand that women have penises.
And I like a good female penis from time to time.
And I like a good female penis from time to time.
We're looking forward to having men in women's bathrooms.
Looking forward to having men in women's bathrooms.
And we are looking forward to the
We are looking forward
to the child sex report,
to the child sex report.
which I'll be looking forward to.
Looking forward to
Getting a bit of pegging done by wee Nippy. A wee bit peg.
doing a bit of pegging done by wee Nippy.
She's got a bigger penis than me. She's got a bigger penis than me. The SNP member's gone on strike.
She's got a bigger penis than me.
So where's my WhatsApps, John? Is now looking forward to saying far right for the next year.
Is now looking forward
To saying
to seeing
far right
far right
reform every 5 minutes. Come on, SNP member, only
every 5 minutes.
a bit slow. That's probably why none's getting changed. Anus Sarwar, inbred anus, wrote my script today. He just said, and he just said, say far right all the time. Far right this, far right that.
And he just said, say far right all the time.
Far right,
Far right this, far right that.
far right. Reformer far right. So, what's happening here? Is Baldie John.
So, what's happening here?
Baldie John is now upset that
Baldie John is now upset.
the fact that The fact that the Reform are starting to eat into the SNP majority.
Reform is starting to eat into the SNP majority.
And we're hoping that if we say far right enough, that it will dissipate.
And we're hoping that if we say far right enough,
The Reform vote will disappear.
the Reform vote will disappear.
We've spoke to Poofy Keir Starmer. Hi there, my name's Keir Starmer. And he says exactly the same, just say far right all the time. And it'll disappear. The Reform will disappear. It's quite enough of you, the only SNP member now. So, I hope that's cleared it up. Far right, Reform, far right, right wing, far right. That's it. That's all you need to know. Not that we're shit or nothing. Love my baby gorillas. Right, well, I thought that was illuminating. I thought, as usual, that if he's not ordering bananas and Nutella for kids, the sex survey for children, the answers will keep him entertained for hours if he's not getting pegged by wee Nippy. Sounds absolutely fantastic. So hopefully over the next year, these idiots are going to say far right and right wing and oh, that's far right, many times. Many times we're hoping that that is going to be the monologue of their approach to reform, because I don't think MD cares anymore. I think if it was the reincarnation of Hitler, that Hitler's probably got more chance of staying in power than the clowns we've got just now. Only joking, obviously. But on a serious note, the things that John Swinney said today was just an embarrassment. He really is the John Major of Scottish politics. And I don't understand. I'm gobsmacked that he's in this long. He's another one that's requiring to be replaced. His time must be numbered. Him and Enos. What's the difference between him and Enos? They both want mass immigration. They both want open borders. They both Social Democrats. They both did DEI. What's the difference? What's the policy difference? They're both absolute clowns. What's the difference? What is it that we would be getting changing the vote? A complete total bunch of beaters. Of course they are. What are we getting that's a change of policy between the Labour Party and the SNP? There's not. They all support each other. They're useless. Useless. At least the reform would be a change of policy. At least it would be a change of policy, because there's no change there. One social democratic to far left party to another. That's why they're so keen to be in bed with the Doughballs and the Greens, the Village Idiot Party. And that's obviously they're comfortable in that. So we've got a centre left to far left spectrum in Scotland. And when somebody who's slightly centrist, I don't. I saw Paul Hutchins. I'll do a thing on him later on. Paul Hutchins today saying that the SNP were far right. Sorry, not the SNP. Reform are far right. Reform are probably pretty milquetoast centre right conservatives. That's all the Reform are. They're not far right in the way that you meant it, Paul. But Jeremy Corbyn is far left. I will come on to all of this later on and educate you, because it's quite incredible that the political editor of a major publication doesn't know his political theory. And as we've talked about before, Paul, you haven't even bothered reading the Quran. So when I talk to you about the Quran, you don't even know that I'm correct. That I know the same as the Muslims. I'm agreeing with the Muslims. And I'm correct and they're correct and you don't know what you're talking about. So, expect over the next year, probably even sooner than that, because we've still got the undemocratic putting off of the English elections. I would definitely not be paying my council tax down in England. If I was not getting any change in representation, I would withhold my council tax. That's what I would personally do. What you do is up to you, but I would definitely not pay if they because Labour are going to get slaughtered down in England. The council elections, especially outside London, that if they're not giving you your elections, we should all protest that. I'll definitely come down and report on that. The Labour Party, because they're that scared, because of that shit. Which I told you before the election they were going to be like this. I told you never vote for Labour. Forget Labour, put them in the bin, same as the SNP, for the same reason, not because one's a nationalist and one's a unionist, because they're both social democratic parties, two far left parties, wokey lefter parties. Put them in the bin. And Baldie John, Baldie John's just as embarrassing. Baldie John's the John Major of Scottish politics. Between the wee Gold member crew, every one of them's an absolute embarrassment to Scotland. Wee lesbo nanny, what's her face? Lesbo Nana, Nicola Sturgeon. It's absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. They're all far right. Anything's better than you and your absolutely motley crew of Irish globalists, wokey wefter globalists, and you call yourself a national party. What nation are you for? What nation are you representing? And why are you named after an invading Irish tribe? The indigenous population here were the Celtic Britons, and the indigenous language was Brythonic. And I'm going to do something to the Lotus Eaters later on. In Scotland, why is it Irish German? Irish German, English is German, English, Irish German. You know, this is Britain. We are the Britons of North Britain, and common Brythonic is the language here, not the colonist language of Irish or English. I said to the police officer that arrested me the other day, I said, what, are you Scottish? Or what? He said, are you British? I said, no, I'm a Briton. And I don't think he really understood, because he doesn't know his history, because he's been ill-informed, which we'll do later on. So, that's it. This is where we're at. I'll do a wee short about inbred anus, and I'll do a longer form in-depth discussion about anus later on. Keep tuned to that one. Our Brythonic brothers and sisters of North Britain. That's it, buddy. North Britain, Briton, or Britain as it is. Yeah, that's it, bud. That's it, mate. But also the English. I'll come on to that. Watch the thing I do with Lotus Eaters. But also the English have got Brythonic in them. But I'll discuss that with you guys later. Love my baby gorillas.